Camera is rolling. The tongue is also rolling. Rolling R's, I think, is like a very important thing when it comes to creating YouTube videos. Yo, hvað er að frétta? My name is Arnaldur. I'm a photographer from Iceland, and those of you who have been following me on Instagram, I actually think, you know, all of you should follow me on Instagram. But those of you who have been following me lately have seen that I posted a bunch of photos from Iceland because I was there visiting my friends and family. I actually don't, you know, live in Iceland right now. I live in Stockholm, Sweden, or as the Swedes like to call it, you know, the capital of Scandinavia. I'm not sure the Danes, the Norwegians, or the Finnish people like agree with that, but you know, hey, I don't make the rules, you know. Now the reason we are sitting here face to face from each other, talking, having a good time, it's mainly just me talking, but you know, hey, I don't make the rules, you know. Is that today I'm finally ready with the preset pack that a lot of you guys have been asking me for. When is it gonna be ready? And today it's ready. So in today's video, we are gonna take a closer look at this pack, what it contains and all that. I'm also gonna show you how I use presets and what I do to my presets to make them like really good. And in the end, I'll also drop a few tips and tricks on the Lightroom editing and things that I do to my photography and my photo editing. So without further ado, let's do my little very complex, super advanced intro. So as I just said, for the last few weeks, I've been getting a few questions from you guys asking like, when am I going to release a new preset pack with this look that you've been seeing on my Instagram? And the reason it's taking me a whole lot of time is because I wanted them to be really good. And today I feel that I'm finally, you know, at that point where I'm very happy with them and happy to release them. So my process is that I want to try them vigorously. This is such a hard word. I want to try them a lot on a whole different types of photos and then testing and tweaking and like changing it until I'm happy. And a bunch of my friends and even some of you guys have been sending me photos, and I'm even testing them out on a few different cameras like Sony. I'm a Sony shooter, so it's like not a like surprise there, but also Fuji and Canon. So if you put a little drum roll here to, you know, add to the suspense, like we don't need to have the drum roll. So the preset pack I call Iceland 2.0. Now the reason for the name is because it's heavily influenced by the moods and conditions from the country that I'm from, you know, Iceland. Now these are 12 different presets where I use some of my favorite editing techniques that I use on every single photo. Now when using my presets, there are some things that I think are good to know. We're going to get in that. First, I like to talk about the question like, how do I use a preset? To me, presets are really not, you know, that one-click solution to like solve all my problems in life, but more, you know, to get that consistent look and tones and feels to my photos. So if you check my Instagram, you can see that my latest photos all look very similar. And it's because I use these presets, so I'm ensuring that I get very similar tones to my photos, which I super much like. Now, it also saves me a whole lot of time because I've already dialed in like bunch of the settings, then I don't have to do the base settings in the beginning. But you know, most of the times it's not like hole in one. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you really just click a preset and it's like boom, whoa, this looks insane. But usually it isn't really like that because every photo is a little bit different from like the other photo, and the conditions that you're shooting in might vary. Now with me, I never save the white balance in my presets. I think that the white balance like is always different from each photo to photo, and I rather like add it in afterwards. So once I put it on, the first thing I usually do is to like make sure that the white balance is correct. After that, really, the most important things is the basic corrections, like check the highlights, the shadows, the whites and the darks, and even the exposure. This is usually where most of the things varies from photo to photo. So here, I make sure to slide them, and this takes a very short amount of time. Now the saturation and vibrance is also sliders that I might adjust afterwards, because you know, let's face it, the saturation of your photos might like vary from the spots that you're in, and then the contrast also is the last slider that I like make sure to check if I like the contrast on the photo that I'm currently working on. Then if I need to, I will make some adjustment to the HSL sliders, the camera calibration, and anything else that I want to, but those are usually very minor. Now, there are a few other things that I do that I don't embed into my presets, and if you like the look of my photos and you like how my photos turn out, then this is something that I think you're going to like. That is that I never save to the preset the gradient filter, the radiant filter, and the brush. And these three things, these three tools, is something that I use a lot in my photography. So if we start with the gradient filter, here I usually make that dramatic sky. If you follow me, you see that I really much like that. I have a whole tutorial on breaking down like how I do it, so I'll link it up here. But I also use the gradient filters to, you know, narrow in on my subject and create a little bit more like a little bit more moody photo and more three-dimensional photo. Now the radial filter often used, you know, to create my own vignette, or I even might invert it and put it on different like spots on the photo to brighten them up, to get like a little bit more interesting photo. Or, you know, just invert it on the subject and brighten the subject up. Then my good old friend brush tool. I love the brush tool. I use that a whole lot. Here I basically just, you know, brush in whatever I want to make local adjustments to. And as you can see, it's not so nice to have this in the presets, because this is very much different from each photo. Whether you want to put your radial filter, whether you want to put your gradient filter. So this I do afterwards. Alright, so now you know all my work process around this. Before I let you go, I just want to say that if you decide to buy this preset pack, like, thank you. It's super much appreciated, and your support to me, it means the world to me. Now, if you could smack that like button for me, it would really help me out. Consider subscribing. I create bunch of videos. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace!